Bonjour à tous, welcome back to my channel, it's Soy Travels. For today's video, I'm happy to announce that my channel will be starting a new series on history of each airline. Now for the pilot episode, we'll be talking about Pan American World Airways. Now before anything else, I would just like to thank everyone for continued support. My channel is regularly posting videos on aviation and travel contents, so if this is something that you might be interested in, please do consider clicking the subscribe button below and I will surely appreciate it. Now if you're ready, I'm definitely ready, let's start.
You are watching Soy Travels.
America, you don't know it yet, but you're going to Europe this summer on Pan Am.
Pan Am is without a doubt one of the most iconic airlines in the world. It was originally incorporated as Pan American Airlines on 14th of March 1927. The airline was founded as a shell company, which means it had no assets nor employees, just a name and a bank account. Having raised $250,000 in startup capital, the airline commenced its operations on 19th of October that same year, with scheduled airmail and passenger service operating between Key West, Florida and Havana, Cuba. The airline is credited for many innovations that shaped the international airline industry, including the widespread of jet aircraft, jumbo jets, and computerized reservation systems. The airline was also the founding member of International Air Transport Association, or EITA, the Global Airline Industry Association.
It was duly announced and passengers checked in. Flight 1000's destination, London.
Pan Am went to increase its network by accepting new government airmail contracts. In 1930s, the airline began offering passenger flights to further operating with Clipper planes. In 1937, Pan Am secured contracts to commence transatlantic flights.
Speed is a byword for every part of jet operations, since with some arrangements of seats, more than 150 passengers can be accommodated. There is an entrance at the back and the front, while plane servicing facilities are on the far side.
Fast forward about 20 years later and Pan Am starts to operate with jet aircrafts. This marked the start of close relationship with aircraft manufacturer Boeing. In fact, in 1955, Pan Am placed an order for 20 Boeing 707 aircraft, becoming the aircraft's launch customer. In 1958, Pan Am began operating flights from New York to Paris, with their filling stop in Canada. In 1966, 11 years after their first 707 order, Pan Am became the launch customer for Boeing 747 aircraft.
Of America ready to challenge the Pacific. And today, the mighty clippers of Pan Am rise majestically from 6 continents for the far corners of the world. Where will we fly to next?
The airline placed an order worth $525 million, or approximately $4 billion in today's money for the aircraft. Now before we move to the last chapter, if you want to know the oldest airline in the world, please also check my video up here.
There is no feeling of movement at all, no vibration, hardly any sound. A new concept in air transportation. The travail has been taken out of travel. Despite a number of highly successful years throughout 1970s, the airline eventually had to come to an end. Pan Am, having once called itself the world's most experienced airline, eventually filed for bankruptcy protection in January 1991. The series of unfortunate events was due to rising fuel costs, as well as the inability to operate on domestic routes. The airline was starting to run at a loss. The airline also suffered from several public relations hits in 1988. This was the year that saw a Pan Am Boeing 747 crash in Lockerbie, sparking a $300 million lawsuit, as well as additional fine from FAA for 19 security failings.
December 21st, 1988. In a few short, violent moments, 270 people died. 11 of the victims were killed on the ground in Lockerbie when debris from Pan Am 103 rained down on their streets and homes. The aircraft, luggage and bodies were scattered over a wide area. People from 21 countries filled these coffins. 189 of them were American.
Delta claimed that Pan Am was losing around $3 million per day of operation in later months of 1991, requiring $25 million just to keep flying for another week. Pan Am was able to convince a bankruptcy judge that they were very close to making a deal regarding continued operations with TWA on 3rd of December. As such, the airline opened for business as usual on 4th of December, however, it was shut down within an hour. Around 7,500 employees instantly lost their jobs.
Pan Am is the third airline this year to shut down, joining Midway and Eastern. The company, which has 7,500 employees, at one time was the premier airline in the world. It was first with Trans-Pacific and transatlantic service. Today, it all came to an end.
They are officially released from duty, effective immediately.
Even though they were out of a job, some employees stayed on to help stranded passengers.
We're a tightly knit family here, and we tried all the way to the very end to keep this place together. And whether people believe it or not, we do care here.
There was no personal service for callers to Pan Am's reservation number. They only got a recorded message.
We are very sorry to advise you that Pan American Airways has suspended operations. All flights are canceled.
Pan American World Airways is known as a symbol of historic days of aviation. While the airline was the largest international carrier in the United States until its demise in 1991. The airline would have been 94 had it survived to the present day. Instead, it ceases operations in 1991 at 64 years old. The Pan Am name lives on, however, and has now been adopted by a private rail transportation company. Although several airlines have tried to revive the Pan Am brand over the years, ultimately none have been successful. Today, Pan Am's legacy lives on as one of the largest names in aviation industry. Thank you so much everyone for watching this video until the end. You may also leave your comments on your favorite and most iconic contribution of Pan American Airways on the comments section below. Now if you find this video informative, please smash the like button and also do consider subscribing to my channel for you to be updated with my latest weekly videos on aviation and travel contents. You may also check my other videos up here. That's all for today everyone. Keep it safe and see you in my next video.